she has a lot of poems.
I do have a lot of poems. Thank you, Dane. Thank you, Mitch. My goodness, they call me Mitch, this forum. I really appreciate you putting this together and welcoming everybody here. And I'm happy to share poetry, and I'm happy to see and hear from you all too. So here we go. And starting it off, I may be very happy tonight. I'm not sure that my poetry reflects that, but the catharsis of the work is what allows the joy in the presence. All right. Ninth life. In your clown suit, with the broken handle and scraped knuckle, you loom in the doorway, in rage against the machinations of humanity, disguised as your fight to consume, to be consummate in this consumption, and to be consumed. The top notes of gasoline and coffee mingle in the street. Similarity breeds familiarity. If you're going to show me the same shit you've shown me a million times, show me this shit. A fool's grin, a leer, a nonsensical whim. I live at the brim, entertain guests with sips, drafts, synthesis, pulled from a wide selection of ingredients and well mixed to muddle specific influence. This one's trailer trash is the same one's treasured childhood past. See my foolish grin and raise me one that's menacing. Teeth are the foundations of life. We cleaned our trailers up real nice. Our folks fled theirs for a false reality. Daddy smoked crack. Mama was bulimic. I'm a bleeder. Pop zits. Slash my wrists, have heavy periods. Bloodletting is a fine cure for no problems. For instance, the shadow of melanin above my lips, age spots, the lives our livers have lived to the fullest. It's only through self-esteem this low we come to accept the opposite. We are infinitesimal and the infinite. We are neo-ranch carnival. We boldly go into the common grounds to claim our individual peace, strip our kidskin pajamas, shed foolhardy control mechanisms, those generated before we knew enough to be embarrassed of our own tastes, our gut instinct based on bacterial profiling. We wield our meddling with the gall to call it good intentions. Hell in heels skips along gold bricks on the way to grandma's and over the sticks. Red hands carry the basket. Red hands hold the purse strings. Pull the strings on mama's red apron. Mama's in bed with the butcher man, mining teeth, minding which wolf she feeds, tying the pieces of her heart with string, packages of meat meant for giving. He drinks to dull himself to the jagged edges of his own broken heart. I make certain my death is flavored with numbness. And you, carny geek, jester king of bullshit, eponymous king of Hades, I see you as a little more fucked up than me, which means I'm more fucked up than I'm willing to see. Thanks. All right, that was Ninth Life. And, okay. Taking a little turn, a shorter piece later. Love is light. What? At the dead end, I found the love I always looked for. The only hurt he put on me is the kinky kind I like. We speak the plain speak. We talk about the walk, and then we fucking walk it. He put on the chain and locked it, and not a word of complaint. He pushed me so kind, it's a new kind of delight. Like what? The Garden of Eden grows in my heart, and out of it flows the river of life. Let's see. Thank you. All right. I'm going to do one called Bugged Out. Yeah. After the performance, I stand before the mirror in my dressing room and reflect. The dressing room is my bathroom, and I only use it to undress. My yoga teacher was an actor. He called our bodies costumes. I digress to redress my wounded ego. Two to tango, two leads in this play. Hours later, alone, I interrogate. Each pore, each line for new meaning, pouring over every pore, squeezing out information, cues, clues, critique, catharsis, inserting alternate scenes, sequences, endings, practice as dramatic reenactments, vindicated in this monologue and better prepared for my role as Frankenbug. You make me act like a monster in this loopy head movie where no one speaks to what was really happening. What we're thinking and feeling are the aces up our sleeves. My great-great-great-grandfather lost our hometown in a card game. There's a school named for him. They're living lessons in near-dead languages. Monster is Latin, as any old gray notion. Monstrar, to show. What a show we put on. Monstrum, to warn. I warned you what could go wrong. I've got the bug to improv Frankenstein, mold and improve my face, recount his bride, intercut in a race, punch holes in my ears, 9 on one side, with rings that were extracted by forceps when we rolled 3.5 times. The doctor presented the fragments in a test tube trophy. There were forceps in the delivery room and a cast of understudies awaiting. Baby, these are tweezers, and I'm pulling the ace out of my sleeve to win this wager against Frankenbug inside me. Hours later, our conversation's still bugging me. I contemplate as I lean over the sink. These loops replay on repeat. Earworms rally through my brain. I exhume the remains of our exchange, perform the opposite of an autopsy, reconstructing the scene. Maggots feast and bugs crawl all over me. I'm made of bugs. I'm Frankenbug, assembled to avenge the segments that were sentenced to premature deaths. Hours later, 2 usually, when I'm craving a cigarette, my hand goes in again, and it's too late to play anything but solitaire, show my face, get stoned enough, drunk as Baudelaire in Belgium. I level with my smoke-streaked eyes, framed in swollen red curtains, stuck in the spotlight. When I'm ready to face you as I am, then I will ace the audition. Thank you. Let's see. How's it going? As we keep going, I think I heard something like 20. Is that good? I don't know. How are you feeling?
Really good. Keep going.
Okay.
You got like 12 more minutes.
Right. Okay. Pretty heavy. I know I got some humor in there too.
You're so intense, Christine.
Okay.
I love it.
All right. I love you guys. I really appreciate you all, everyone, and every
Strong
form.
stuff.
Thank you. Okay. All right. I appreciate you. I'm really looking forward to hearing from everybody else. I've got a few more I'll share. One of them, the one I'm ending with, I will let you know is a bit of a saga. So we're going to do Well-Heeled Beasts, though, which is fraught with pop culture reference of yore. All right. Well-Heeled Beasts. Hot to trot. Out of the gate at 8. She was 14. They were both jailbait. impatient for the stroke of fate. How far back can we place the blame to refute his claim? No me molesta. It prepped him for this, so he could be a beast, and he could be the best, and he is at losing it. Perhaps his beast would benefit from her patient discipline. Perhaps he doesn't hate women, just bitches who say they don't want it, or like to keep him on a leash. Rein in that wild beast, please. When I was 13, I babysat boys 6 and 9. They jumped me once from behind, tore my clothes and roared. I took them out back to play with matches, burn off that energy, control its release, make a man of the beast. Most of my early flings lost their virginity to babysitters, citing similar age differences. Nearly all described the experience as a positive. Aren't boys supposed to like sex? Isn't a girl a cheap, dirty whore when she likes it, especially when she admits it to the guys, tempts the dangerous beasts, at least some of whom she wants to ride? Therein lies the conflict. She might not like to be hit, even though she might like how he hits it. Any discipline based on incomplete information is risky business. Any corporal punishment system teaches violence. Any beast can be made a bitch, and vice versa. That was my ode to Chris Brown and Rihanna. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. We'll do these back to back. I skipped one. We did have a shorter breather there before that I skipped. Consumption. Let's see. In and out. He's only as rude as I am. Warmth and cold emanating from the same body. Sick happy shivers of intoxicated delirium, or just nonsense girly flush, mad lust, dripping with stupid, sticky serum, passion pitch lapping punched lips, sexy with fever, then dead the next night. That one. And I have a sweet one before we go into the finale. Yeah, never mind. I'm in love with your soul. I don't know what that means or what a soul is exactly, except I don't know exactly what it is I love about you. I love your voice, but I'd love you without it. I love your looks, but I'd love you without them. I love your attitude, but I'd love you even if that changed too. Simply, my soul fell in love with your soul. And I don't know what that means, but it feels true. All these things I love about you aren't what I love about you. I love them because I love you. And I don't know what that means, but it feels true. All right, this has been really fun sharing with you. And all right, I'm gonna do Hurricane Joan, and I will end with this one. I wrote this, or rather pieced together something that was already brewing inside me for Tiana Clark, who is a poet that if you are not familiar with, please do familiarize yourself with. She really is a force within the Nashville poetry scene, and now, of course, across the planet, as so many of us here are becoming. She's got quite a powerful voice and is absolutely wonderful. And when she had her going away party in Nashville, we wrote poems in tribute to Tiana Clark. So this is Hurricane Joan. White trash hurricane rips through the South. What's her ungodly face? Amanda Palmer says it's her neighbor, friend, foe, Joan Jones, but I doubt it. That's my only doubt now. I dated a Jones. He never let me forget. I couldn't keep up with his eyes reaching back, sharp cue of wet ball contact, white flecked in yellow, a jerking sour milk splash onto the rhythm of his shake, an arrhythmic quake. It doesn't come coherent or flower scented. It can smell of green and white. This branch reverential, this referential, met in the crook of an elbow, clapped to a rhythm that wheedles through the echoes of her refrain. Did we swim on that day? Did we have crepes? Did we need a chaperone then? If I did not fall asleep in class, I passed notes at the back. I felt like swarming you, like a cat, rubbing on you in an authoritative manner. A Cheshire toying with its metaphysical dinner. Entitled elitist nitwits smugly eating their own asses. Ouroboros poets. Modern archaeologists sifting through gravel at rest stops. The dad across the crosswalk with his coffee to go and baby pack. Hair tame, jacket puff, marshmallow bird of prey hovering over its young, loving it with the same mouth it spits death with. The stitched up, buttoned up, tied on detachment, the attachment parenting conflict. I became aware of her preternaturally straight nose. My entire life has been a come to Jesus moment. There must be some wheat amidst the chaff, a grain of wisdom or pearl of integrity, shock of hair out of place, a kernel of truth stuck in some tooth. Don't worry, cover it with a butt cape. In this age of the tall skinny, my tenuous euphoria, mutable as lenticular glimpses, stores of endorphins to plunder, and the plunge, the violent sad, the dismissive swirl, the swept up in the blink of an eye, the ransacked for fashionable parts to commodify, out of the cult and into the cauldron. What is the exhibitionist to do but be the exhibition? Exhibit A, a piece of poor white trash. Exhibit B, an ugly old fat witch dyke. Exhibit C, coffee stains can be art. See, I purchased 2 to frame. Plastic bags can engage in ballet. Do they consent to the recording by putting themselves on display? With no nervous system or one that looks different, how can we be sure they feel pain? The value of life measured in the weight of sacrifice. A bag is not a useful instrument for the measuring. A mask is not a useful sin, but for concealing sin. Babies come in Barbies come in plastic coffins, excuse me. Barbies come in plastic coffins because glass is not childproof. Sleeping Snow White beauties. Dollhouse pink paint, someone ashed in, then stirred, trying to hide the specks. These girls today have grit and weaponized baggage, the emotional kind you don't want to set down because you might need to reference that shit, because you might need to wield it. Gift horse, no mouth. Look, see? I believe what Joan of Arc said. The Ark of the Covenant's contents, the Ark of a rainbow's christening, never again. Love, the natural state of being. Strike that is, strike that was, excise that will be. Look, see the Jews and Christians? Are there any Muslims left? See here, the Muslims, our brothers and sisters in God. God? Yes, God. I believe in God, only I spell it nature, a white architect said. Why believe a white man in office, in the sky or pulpit, when he says, this is how to read, this is how to pray, on knee, less than, never worthy. I do not hate wooden spoons or hairbrushes. I do not hate the belt. When he takes it off, the sound turns me on. He never spanks the rhythm into me anymore. Never worthy, not on my birthday. We never counted or kept up. We do not celebrate ourselves. There is no honor in that. We are lowly, we kneel, and all that spills from our tongues is fire for him. All that anoints his feet is our hair conditioner. All that wipes our tears is nature. Is it first nature or second? Is it grace or surrender? Is the war over yet? Flow with grace if you are going to get swept away. Delve into the leaking elbows. Uncover where it connects. Build for the inevitable destruction. Flow with grace if you're going to be swept. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.